Hi, my name is Anna Zabalex and I'm from 6C. Lack of education. Why is lack of education a problem? Believing that poor children can't learn merely leads to paralysis. The root cause of poverty is lack of education. If you can't read or do basic math, if you can't show up to work or apply yourself, you'll not have a job. How does lack of education affect society? Societies with higher rates of education completion have lower crime, better overall health, and civic involvement. Lack of access to education is considered the root of poverty. Not getting an education can lead to a cycle of poverty. Does lack of education cause poverty? Among the many causes of global poverty, one factor stands out: education. Not every person without an education is living in extreme poverty, but most of those living in extreme poverty do lack a basic education. People living in poverty may stop going to school and they go for some other work, which leaves them without literacy and skills. Educated people are less in suffering from poor health because they know how to take prevention against diseases. The causes and effects of lack of education: the lack of school, lack of money, poor health, unemployment, and exploitation. Solution for overcoming lack of education: financial support for poor families, improvements in health insurance, raising awareness on the importance of education, minimum wages, and more tolerance regarding education. Consequences the kids will face are unemployment, lower salary, illegal activities, poor economy, and poverty. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Anya and I'm from 6C. And today my topic is going to be child labor. Before we start, what is child labor? Child labor is the employment of children in an industry or business, especially when it is deemed illegal and not allowed. This does not allow children to be taken to school and not allow them to get education. Approximately 215 million children between the ages of 5 and 17 are in this process of child labor, and these workspaces are deemed illegal and hazardous work, according to the International Labour Organization. When did child labor start? It had become an issue at least far back as from the 1906, where factories children were preferred since they were less likely to strike a move. What was the reason it had started? Many parents had sent out children to support their families, and households were turned into labor markets. Which country is most affected by child labor? Africa has the highest number of child labor according to the International Labour Organization, with estimates of 27.1 million children in Africa are in child labor and 31.5 million are in hazardous work. Here is a map of an example of which areas is most affected and least affected by child labor. Here's some ways you can stop child labor. Here's my bibliography for all the websites I had used. And finally, the brochure I had made about this topic. Thank you.
Good morning. Today I will present COVID-19, the World's War by Dominic Faith from grade 6C. What is COVID-19? COVID-19 is a virus that can cause illness ranging from the common cold to even more severe diseases. The recent common ancestors, which is this virus, has been the oldest one. And in my opinion, I think it's the strongest. What are COVID-19 symptoms? Signs and symptoms include respiratory systems that include fever, cough, the shortness of breath. In more severe cases, infection can cause pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, and even sometimes death. The lungs are the organs that are most affected by COVID-19. The most common symptoms are fever, coughing, tiredness, loss of taste or smell. The least common ones, or the ones that people don't really have, are having sore throat, headaches, aches or pains, diarrhea, red or irritated eyes. Most of these scientists or researchers have not found out how these symptoms exist, but they are researching to find out and help us as the society. How does COVID spread? It spreads by small particles like air, not the droplets. Also, the air is from the air that comes out of an infected person. When an uninfected person inhales in that air, they can become infected. Problems we have during COVID-19. Wearing masks while going out is a problem. We can't travel overseas for visiting places, people, family, for school, and also for finding jobs. And a lot of people lose their jobs and also lose money. Many people now use glasses because of the radiation we get from using our devices all the time. We have to keep taking vaccinations, which are expensive, and each time goes higher and higher. Thank you. That is my presentation.
Hi everyone, my name is Alicia. My exhibition topic is government corruption. What is government corruption? Government corruption is the abuse of public power, office, or resources by elected officials for personal gain or offering bribes. It can also take the form of office holders maintaining themselves in office by purchasing votes, by enacting laws which use taxpayers' money. What caused government corruption? Government corruption is caused by greed of money, desires, higher levels of market, and political monopolization, low levels of democracy, weak civil participation, and low political transparency. Causes of government corruption: country size, country age, resource curse, political instability, lack of rule of law, failure of governance, size of government. Effect in government corruption. In a nutshell, corruption increases inequality, decreases popular accountability and political responsiveness, thus produces rising frustration and hardship among citizens who are then more likely to accept or even demand hard-handed illiberal tactics. What are the three types of government corruption? Corruption can be defined in different ways. The most common types of or categories of corruption are supply versus demand corruption, grant versus petty corruption, conventional versus unconventional corruption, and public versus private corruption. Why do we need to solve government corruption? Globally, the World Economic Forum has estimated that the cost of corruption is about US 2.6 trillion a year. The impacts of corruption disproportionately affect the most vulnerable people in society. Widespread corruption deters investment, weakens economic growth, and undermines the rule of law. Which country government corrupted? Denmark, New Zealand, Finland, Singapore, and Sweden are perceived as being the least corrupt nations in the world, ranking consistently high among international financial transparency. While the While the most perceivably corruption countries in the world are Syria, Somalia, and South Sudan, perceivably scoring 13 and 11 out of 100 in 2021. How can corruption affect the country? Corrupted economies are not able to function properly because corruption prevents the natural laws of the economy from functioning freely. As a result, corruption in a nation's political and economic operation causes its entire society to suffer. How can we solve government corruption? Expose corrupt activities and risks that may otherwise remain hidden. Keep the public sector honest, transparent, and accountable. Help stop dishonest practices. Ensure that public sector employees act in the public interest. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Harshana Luwalia from grade 6C, and today I'm talking about terrorism, one of the most challenging global issues today. Terrorism could be defined as using violence to incite fear or terror in the heart of the people in order to achieve religious, political, financial, or ideological goals. Terrorism is a major problem all over the world. At the moment, as in recent years, terrorism has spread its tentacles globally. There are two types of terrorism. One is political terrorism, which creates panic on a large scale, and another is criminal terrorism, which deals in kidnapping to take ransom money. As you can see on my poster, this is the attack on the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. This is considered as the largest terrorist attack in the world. Osama bin Laden attacked the tallest building in the world's most powerful country, causing millions of casualties and thousands of deaths. The militants associated with the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 airplanes and carried out suicide attacks against targets in the United States. These attacks eventually led to attack in Afghanistan by the USA to demolish Mullah Omar's regime, which is called War of Terror. To conclude, terrorism is very much a reality of modern times. The mere threat of a terrorist attack is enough to generate panic and fear among the general population. The internet has given terrorist organizations a global platform to spread their agenda and recruit more people. However, it may be time for a more militaristic solution to this problem of global terrorism. Also, the people in the world will also have to unite to face this growing threat of terrorism. Thank you.
Hello friends, hello teachers. My name is Harsha. Today I'm going to tell about my topic, nutrition deficiency, children in poor countries. What is nutrition deficiency? Nutritional deficiency occurs when the body is not getting enough nutrients, such as vitamins and minerals. There are a number of conditions that are caused by nutritional deficiency, such as anemia. The body requires vitamins to stay healthy and function properly. How does nutrition deficiency occur? Nutritional deficiency anemia is a common problem. It can occur when the body is not absorbing enough iron, folate, or vitamin B12 from the diet. What are the side effects of nutritional deficiency? Fatigue, shortness of breath, dizziness, pale or yellowish skin, irregular heartbeats, weight loss, numbness or tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness. Which country is mostly affected by malnutrition? 1. Somalia 60%, 2. Central African Republic 48%, 3. Haiti 47%, 4. Yemen 45%. How do you treat nutritional deficiency? Add fiber, especially soluble fiber, get adequate vitamin D, eat healthy fats and omega-3 fats, boost antioxidants, eat lean and plant-based proteins, choose whole grains, consume magnesium-rich foods, eat calcium-rich foods.
My exhibition. My topic is poverty and my name is Aditri. What is poverty? Poverty is a phase where you don't have the basic needs that a human being needs to live, for example, shelter, food, and clothes. Why does poverty happen? Poverty doesn't really have a reason of why it exactly happens. The people without a job or a person that cannot fulfill the needs will eventually face poverty. However, the main causes of poverty are unemployment, poor health care systems, physical disabilities, and others. 10 countries that are suffering from poverty: Equatorial Guinea, South Sudan, Madagascar, Guinea-Bissau, Eritrea, Sao Tome and Principe, Burundi, DR Congo, Central African Republic, and Guatemala. How can we reduce poverty? We can start a work that pays good amount of salary of which the person can fulfill its or its family's basic needs. Improve child nutrition, educate children, and ensure the basic health care. Why is it important for people to notice poverty? It is important because people who are going through poverty are facing a lot of problems like being homeless, lacking in taking care of their children, insufficient knowledge in school, and etc. And it is our responsibility to help them. And second of all, the rate of our poverty is pretty high, and because of that, it is damaging the process of economics. Here are some facts about poverty. Brochure. This is the brochure I made for the exhibition. And these are some links that helped me to get the information needed today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Esther and today I'm going to talk about gender equality in the workplace. I have chosen this topic because I think that is an important issue in the society today. What is gender equality in the workplace? Gender equality in the working world is one form of implementation of equal opportunity in the workplace. It hopes that every individual can get the same job opportunities, there is self-development and treatment regardless of difference in ethnicity, race, religion, or class, including gender. Top issue of gender inequality in the workplace: unequal pay, sexual harassment, women are promoted less often than men, fear of asking to be paid what you're worth. Unequal pay. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistic data, in 2020, women's early earnings were 82.3% of men's, and the gap is even wider for women of color. This means that even though men and women work the same amount, women are still getting paid less. Sexual harassment. A survey conducted in January 2018 by a non-profit called Stop Street Harassment found that 28% of women have experienced sexual harassment in the workplace, including verbal or physical assault. Women are promoted less often than men. Women constitute nearly half of the workforce, yet they are promoted less often than men. We know this because less than 5% of CEOs, and it is even worse for women of color. One of the reasons of this happening is because of the lack of female role models in the workplace, making women feel like they are not fit for leadership roles. fear for asking to be paid what you're worth. Women are scared of asking for higher pay because for women, negotiating is often viewed as being greedy or desperate. Employment rate from 1970 to 2020. This figure shows trends in employment for men and women, giving the percentage of those aged 25 to 54 who were employed in a week of the surveying each year from 1970 to 2018. Women's employment rose almost steadily from 1970 to 2000, moving from 48% employed in 1970 to 75% employed in 2000. It then declined and declined more in the Great Recession, reaching a bottom of 69% and rebounding to 73% in 2018. Despite the rebound after recessions, in 2018 it was not higher than its level in 1996. What can we do to improve gender equality in the workplace? Companies need to create a safe and healthy work environment free of verbal and sexual harassment. Next, companies need to pay salary of women and men equal. Companies also need to provide equal learning and development opportunities to both men and women. Companies need to give women a chance at leadership roles so that women can rise above. Lastly, it is hard for working mothers to have work and life balance. Therefore, companies need to give freedom of taking days off and working remotely. This way, productivity will improve. I hope that gender equality issues in the working place can improve. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dennis Kang from 6C. Today, I will talk about air pollution. Why I choose air pollution? Because I want to tell that to let people know about the air pollution dangers, so to make them learn about air pollution. Air pollution is a contamination of the indoor or outer environment by any chemical, physical, or biological agent that modifies the natural characteristic of the atmosphere. Some causes of air pollution is transportation, vehicles makes air pollution, deforestation because of cutting tree, people littering trash everywhere. We can solve them by transportation, use bicycle and public, don't cut the tree, stop deforestation, throw the trash in recycle bin, stop using plastic bag or change it into reusable bag. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Mishika Rajpal and I'm from grade 6C. Today I'll be talking about ocean pollution. I chose this topic because oceans are vital to our life and something we can't live without. The ocean produces over half of the oxygen on Earth. It regulates the climate and it is also an important source of food. What is ocean pollution? Ocean pollution is the spreading of harmful substances such as oil, plastic, industrial and agriculture waste, and chemical particles into the ocean. Coming to the causes of ocean pollution. Landform runoff, ocean spills, toxic chemicals from industries, and ocean mining. Next, we have the long-term effects of ocean pollution. Oil spills and debris can cause irreversible damage to marine life. Sea animals are experiencing death and other harmful effects of oxygen depletion. Plastics ingested by fish indirectly enter our food chain and cause harm. China and United States are the major contributors to ocean pollution. Coming to the prevention of ocean pollution. We should conserve water, We should reduce the pollutants. We should recycle properly. We should reduce our use of single-use plastics. We should volunteer. We should spread the word, and we should reduce the carbon footprint. And we should also avoid products containing microbeads. All these methods help solving the problem of ocean pollution, but the plastic ban helps make a big impact. Plastic Bank believes that before one can effectively clean the debris from the oceans, the leakage of the waste must be stopped in the first place. In other words, the tap must be turned off. In exchange for collected plastic, collectors receive premiums which help provide basic family necessities such as groceries, cooking fuel, school, tuition, and health insurance. My brochure. I would like to conclude that this is the responsibility of every citizen to play his or her part to protect the oceans and protect our future. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Itakshi from grade 6C. Today I'll be talking about forest fire. What is forest fire? Forest fires are fires that are uncontrolled fire. Wildfires usually begin in summer when it's hot and little rain. Short answer, climate change. California has been experiencing warm temperatures and drier seasons, bringing longer and intense drought seasons as a result of changing climates. The conditions that are needed to spark a wildfire are more easily met, thereby also increasing its surfeit once it starts. What are the major causes of forest fire? The major cause of forest fire in the United States is human activity. This can be a carelessness such as not putting out a campfire or dropping a lit cigarette. It may be also arson, which is setting a fire on purpose and it's against the law. How did forest fire start? It started because of humans. Humans caused from leaving campfire fuel in the form of dead trees or alive. Controlled burning, also called prescriptive fire, involves planting and applying fire to a predetermined area under specific weather conditions to help reduce fire risk. How do we stop forest fires? Fighting a wildfire once it's already started is dangerous and expensive process. But land management agencies can use various tools and techniques to prevent wildfires, including controlled burning.
What my name is Nicholas. My today's topic is Unequal Life. What is the diversify planet and protect life or against global harmful ultraviolet? What is the limit portion? It protects the earth from harmful ultraviolet. Here are the ways to protect yourself from UV radiation. Cause of ozone depletion. Fluorocarbons, nitrogen compounds, natural causes. Effects of ozone depletion. Let us see the major effects of ozone depletion on man and environment. Effects on human health, effects on animals, effects on environment, and effects on marine life. Solution to ozone depletion. Avoid using ODS. Minimize the use of glucose. Use eco-friendly cleaning products. Here is the brochure. Thank you for listening to my exhibition presentation. I hope to see you next time on the next topic. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Tanmay Singh. Today I'm going to talk about water pollution. Water pollution occurs when energy and other materials are released into the water, contaminating the quality of it for other users. Types of pollution. Surface water pollution found on the exterior of the Earth's crust, oceans, rivers, and lakes. Groundwater pollution found in soil or under rock structure or aquifers. Different causes of water pollution: marine dumping, nuclear waste, industrial waste, oil pollution, sewage or storage leak. Effects on humans: disease caused by drinking contaminated water, swimming in polluted water, contact with chemically polluted water can harm humans. What can you do to save ocean life? You can turn off the water to save water. You can spread awareness, and you can try to be the part of the solution, not the pollution. Thank you.
Hello, I am Tanish. Today I am going to be talking about the effects of COVID-19 lockdown. Were they a boon or a bane? Let's start with how all the lockdowns started. While everyone was celebrating the new year 2020, one of the deadliest threats, COVID-19, was making its way into the world from Wuhan, China. Governments imposed lockdowns to avoid its spread. Some of the most crowded places in the world became deserted ones. Developed countries were able to sustain through the lockdowns, while the developing and underdeveloped countries struggled with unemployment, low rates of vaccination, and steep drop in economic activity. Lockdown made people stay at home, which adversely impacted tourism, hospitality, and retail. Healthcare sectors flourished with rise in COVID patients, but they lost a lot of frontline workers to COVID-19. Agriculture sector gained as unemployed people turned to agriculture. Without adequate infrastructure, school closures impacted students' education. E-commerce grew massively because everyone started buying stuff online. In today's globalized world, with seamless international travel, the virus spread rapidly. Statistical data shows the effects of COVID-19 lockdowns, as you can see here. The lockdowns affected the economy, people's health, and employment adversely. The lockdowns let people experience new things, made people closer to their loved ones, and it helps us advance our technology. There was lesser human interference in nature, and so pollution decreased. Trees grew back, and the ozone layer healed partly. We can use this experience to plan for our next pandemic. A lockdown is just an effective tool to control pandemics, but it must be used by governments judiciously to avoid ill effects. Here is my bibliography. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Rashi Kapadia and I'm from grade 6C. My exhibition topic is Smoking Kills. So, what is smoking? Smoking is the act of inhaling and exhaling the fumes of a plant material that's burning. It's a negative act for environment and the human health. Why do people get addicted to smoking? When taken in small amounts, smoking materials cause pleasant feelings and distracts the user from unpleasant feelings. This tempts the smoker to want to use more. The effects of smoking on human health and the environment. Human health. Smoking leads to a lot of diseases and disabilities and harms nearly almost every organ of the body. It causes cancer, heart disease, stroke, lung diseases, and a lot more. Environment. By releasing hazardous air toxic pollutants into the atmosphere, cigarette smoking pollutants harm the ecosystem. They also harm oxygen, which we breathe in, and can also affect our human health. How can we solve this issue? There are many ways we can solve this issue, like putting posters, stop people when you see them smoking, make surveys, and a lot more. Here is my action plan. I made an online survey and also stuck posters around my apartment. Here is my brochure that I made. And here is my bibliography. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nikhil from class 6C. Today, my exhibition topic is how does war affect the world? First of all, what is war? War is when a state or nation wants to take over one country or land. How is war started? War started when one nation does not like the other nation and they decide to go for war. Effects of war on people and the environment. It affects people by giving them death, injury, malnutrition, illness, disabilities, and emotional effects. Military activities produce extensive amounts of greenhouse gases that contribute to climate change. How to solve this issue? There are many ways to solve this issue, such as have a meeting with the other nation, solve your differences, and take your war as the final option. My action plan. I have made a petition to send to the Indonesian Council to not join in the war between the Ukraine and Russia. And I've also placed posters all over my apartment. These are my brochures and model. And these QR codes lead to my bibliography links. Thank you.
My name is Sabrina Chhabra. I'm from 6C and my topic is natural disasters. What are natural disasters? A natural disaster is an event caused by the natural forces of the earth. Natural disasters can take many forms, ranging from earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, and many more. The causes of different types of disasters are also different. However, the most common cause for these natural events is the imbalance created in our environment, which is pollution. A volcano is a mountain that opens downward to a pool of molten rock below the surface of the earth. When pressure builds up, eruptions occur. Countries in a region called Ring of Fire that encircles the Pacific Ocean are more exposed to volcanic activity. Earthquakes are the shaking, rolling, or sudden shock of the Earth's surface. Earthquakes cannot be predicted, although scientists are working on it. Japan and Indonesia are in an active seismic area, so they're able to record many earthquakes. A tsunami is a series of ocean waves caused by an underwater earthquake, landslide, volcanic eruption, or more rarely by a giant meteor impact. Scientists can accurately estimate the time when a tsunami will arrive around the world based on calculations. Natural disasters can have a life-changing impact on the individuals and families fortunate enough to survive them. They cause destruction of property and infrastructure, loss of financial resources, housing, and personal injury or illness. Natural disasters can be prevented by preparing for them, by preventing them, or by reducing the impact they have on people. Protecting the environment or preventing floods are some way to prevent disasters. This is my brochure. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Faz from grade 6C, GMIS. Today, my exhibition topic is deforestation. What are the causes of deforestation? Geography. Heavy machinery compacts soil and makes it more vulnerable to erosion. Silt is washed into rivers. Logging roads open up the area to new settlers who remove even more trees. How many trees get cut every 2 years? 2016, around 6 billion trees are cut. In 2018, 5 billion trees are cut. In 2020, around 4 billion trees are cut. Cause of cutting trees. The main causes of cutting trees are agriculture, mining, infrastructure, paper, tissues and paper bags, expansion. This is my model. As you can see, my model represents two woodcutters chopping down a forest. This causes the animal natural habitat to be destroyed. They use this free land to breed cows or for farming. It also reduces the amount of oxygen in the air. This makes it difficult for us to breathe as we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Bye and thanks for seeing my exhibition.